Hey, beautiful divas. So I'm here with Gray, and we are on a wine tour. And he's our guide. He is absolutely amazing. When you come to Cape Town, you must book him because he's so great. But I invited him to sit down and talk with me and allow me to ask him questions about what is the process with choosing somebody and getting married and all things love, dating, and relationships. So I want to welcome our newest guest to the Love on Command show so that we can find out how men in South Africa date. So welcome.
Thank you.
All right, so we are so curious on how do you actually select that woman who you would want to even be your wife?
So the way it works is that marriage in South Africa, you, as a family of the man, we have to send a letter to the family of the bride.
Okay.
It's called Lobola.
Well, before you get to that,
Yes.
I want to know, like, what's the process of you actually falling in love or choosing to court a woman? You court a woman, right?
Oh yes, I mean, yeah, we from high school. I mean, nowadays, if you love somebody, you ask them on a date. Invite them for a cup of coffee, or I mean, if you love someone, you can just walk up to them and tell them, I think you're beautiful, and
So you invite them for a cup of coffee?
a cup of coffee. Yes.
Oh wait, are they inviting them for a cup of coffee? Why are you inviting women for a cup of coffee? Like,
I mean,
what this?
over coffee, we get to talk, to get to know one another. I think that sets the mood, not too high expectations, because I just want to go straight into a date here.
Yeah.
You want to get to know me, so I think a cup of coffee, it's light talk.
Right. So you're not just trying to be cheap.
Yes, I'm not trying to be cheap, but just to, just to clear out the air,
Right.
Yeah.
But were you dating for the purposes of getting married? Like, you knew you were looking for your wife?
Definitely. I played around during my high school time, but you get to an age where you're like, I think I'm done with that. You get to an age where you're like, I want to date to marry now.
Right.
And that's the time where you start getting serious about, who you want to get involved with or who you want to date.
Right.
In terms of like the person, their personality.
Right.
Yeah, stuff
Can
like
you
that.
tell when a woman is marriage material, the type of woman that you can see yourself with long term versus the woman that's just a one night?
Okay, I think
I got the South African. Okay, y'all already know this is about to be good. Yeah, no, we want it all like honest, real.
I think someone who you want to date for marriage.
Yeah.
I think someone should have certain qualities of life. Someone who's really kind, a mother figure. I mean, for my background, someone who's God-fearing as well.
Okay.
And that's very important. And also just to have an educational background. We live in nowadays. You need someone who can.
Oh, so you want a woman who's educated?
Educated, not to a certain degree of having like a PhD to say, but have an educational background. You know, because we live in a modern world now. You need to know what's happening.
Okay.
If I'm not available for maybe due to work, maybe I was laid off or I became sick, then you can also, look after the family or look after us, stuff
So
like
basically it provides more stability when she's educated.
She's educated.
So you're not intimidated by a woman who's highly educated?
No, not really. It's if they are really highly educated, it's good. That's good for them because at the end of the day, we're all at school. We all want to be somebody at the end of the day.
Right.
So whether you get a PhD and I just have my normal degree, I shouldn't feel intimidated. You pursued it further because maybe you had the time and you had the money and you had the ambition. Maybe for me, this was just it. One degree with my work experience, I'm comfortable here.
So you don't mind if a woman makes more money than you?
No. I know it's good. It's gonna feel like, oh, she's making more, but it is what it is. You're making more money. It's your field. Yeah, this is my field. This is what I can make, and this is it.
But as a man, do you feel like that when you're dating, it should be 50-50? Like she should pay half, you pay half, or as a man, do you feel like you want to be able to provide? You're the one that's going to pay for the date. You're the one that's going to show her that you can take care of her. What is the mindset?
I think when we are dating, it's good to set those boundaries. But I think as a man, from where I'm coming from, I want to be able to provide.
Wait, no, say that louder because this is important. You want to be able to do what?
I want to be able to provide as a man. So if I'm going to get into a relationship with somebody, I need to be ready. Also, financially, I need to be able to know that, I'm going in for marriage. I need to be able to provide if something happens.
Right.
So, the 50-50 thing, I don't know about it.
No, honestly, tell me how you feel about it. Because in America, it's like...
The 50-50 thing, I don't know. for me, if we're gonna go on a date, I'm gonna pay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna pay. I wanna be able to provide. Yeah, I think just.
What do you think about men who feel like a woman should pay for half the date, half the bills? They have this mindset that women are gold diggers and they just want to use men for money. What do you think about that?
No, it's crazy.
Does that even sound manly? Like, what is it? What is that?
No, as a man, you need to go to provide. A woman's going to be in a relationship with you. I mean, it's one of the things that you can able to provide. If you cannot, she might as well just be on her own. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my god! Oh my god! I love that.
One of the responsibility as a man is able to provide.
Right.
So if I'm going to get this woman to come into my world,
right,
I must be able to provide for her.
Okay.
I'm sure if she comes with her own money, yeah, she will help in certain things, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But for me personally, as a one man, I should be able to provide first.
Right.
That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Secondly, and once I can provide,
right,
I think she'll be able to help whenever I'm stuck.
I see.
Yeah.
So tell me, what is your thought process on how a man should treat a woman? And what do you see has been the challenge with the way men treat women just dating in South Africa?
I mean, women need to be treated like, with kindness. Women are very fragile human beings. But with a lot of care, lots of respect. Some go through things. And we men need to be able to understand and be patient with them when they are not ready to open up about certain things or some parts of their lives. We need to be patient. I mean, dating nowadays has become difficult, especially with the new generation. Social media has put up some things. People, they are not really true to themselves. They are expecting some sort of a dream.
Okay.
I mean, if you're going to date me and my salary can only afford to maybe not have a car at this point, we are dating. I can support you with what I have.
Right.
So, but don't expect me to give what I don't have.
Okay.
Just take me as I am. And I mean, I'm working. It's a working process,
Right.
You never know. But
so you think that there's women that they have this expectation of providing way more above than what you've already presented?
Yes, some do have those expectations, and it's difficult sometimes to deal with it, because and this is sometimes when you find people spending too much time on social media, because it's also about how much time are you spending on social media.
Right.
How much time are you spending scrolling? Right. It's different when you wake up. Today it was a beautiful day, your phone was aside, you didn't touch it. Yeah. You had your breakfast, and you were speaking to your boyfriend, your husband, everything was great.
Right.
You went out for lunch and you came back, and different when you wake up and first thing you take your phone and so they are in Zanzibar,
right.
Like, oh baby, I also want to go to Zanzibar. I can't afford that, and that can put you off like, but they went. I'm like, no, we can go to a nearby place, but I promise you in future we'll get there. Right. So I think there's been less commitment in nowadays relationship. People don't want to commit. They think there's so many options out there. There is, but it's not easy.
Right.
It's not really easy to get.
And they're not really looking for the qualities that really matter in a relationship.
Yeah.
Do you find that going back and forth both ways?
Yes.
What do you think what men do that has made it challenging as well?
Yeah, sometimes men just expect, when the woman comes in their lives, they it's a girlfriend, yes, it's a working process, relationship, you work on it.
Right.
Just because she's now in your life, don't expect her to cook, to iron, and everything for you,
He wants all the wife benefits.
Yeah, the benefits,
yes.
And come on, you can't have the wife benefits if you're not providing,
Right.
That's the other thing.
Yeah.
It goes both ways. I think we need to take it back. I know back then our parents, they'll be at home and the father would be the one to provide. At first we used to think it was the thing. That's what we knew, dad works and the mom stays at home, and she looked after us and she will help dad whenever. Right. Yeah, and these days it's like, if she doesn't work, she can't do it, we can't be together, it's gonna be too much expenses, it's gonna be too much this.
Really? Men feel like that?
Yeah, some men do feel like that.
Yeah.
But I think it's a thing about talking to each other about, if I'm this kind of man, I wanna get someone who can also provide for themselves. I don't want to be the person to be paying for your hair, for the rental where you're gonna be staying, the food. Maybe I cannot afford for that. So maybe I think you might need to help me maybe with the grocery for the house. I'll just pay for the rent, the electricity, but you just buy the groceries and I'll look after your hair. So I think when you talk about certain things, then you tell them this is why I cannot provide for everything. It's because of where I am in my life right now.
I see.
Yeah, I think talking about it, then just saying, baby, it's gonna be okay. I'll do it. And comes to the time to do it, you don't do
now
it.
Now she has expectation because he overpromised what he can do.
So we shouldn't start promising things that we cannot deliver at the end of the day. It's not good. I think it's just better to be honest. In the first place, then if the person is going to stay, then you know they are really there for you.
How important is that to a man?
Very, very important.
I have a question for you.
Sure.
What was it that made you choose your fiance? What was it about her?
Well, I know she's beautiful, caring, beautiful.
Are you blushing? Oh my gosh.
No, she's beautiful.
Cute.
So, what made me
choose her?
She has the quality of a very strong woman. You know, she looks after her mom. She's a family woman. You know, and well mannered. She cares a lot. It was not easy to get at first. She didn't want to even date me. She wanna give me a chance.
Oh, you mean you having to make an effort to earn her?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, there was a lot of effort. You know, dates after dates, and at first, I asked her to be my girlfriend. She's like, no, I need some time. And I'm from like, if I ask you, I need to be given a chance.
Right?
Not a no. I'm like, this woman is telling me no.
Right.
So what do? I have to keep on trying.
What made you keep trying and not give up?
Because I saw what I wanted. I'm like, that's what I want. That's what I want.
So when a man sees what he wants, he's gonna go after what he wants.
He's gonna go for it. Despite she was coming from another relationship, even though the guy was still trying maybe to amend some things. I'm like, that's what I want, and I'm not even gonna play around with it.
Right.
And I went for it. Yeah, that after a few tries, he said, okay, I'll give you a chance. I feel the same way, but I'll give you a chance.
Right.
Yeah, and when she gives you the chance, you take it to the other level.
Okay, you're gonna make sure that she knows. Yeah.
I'm not here to play.
You're not here to play. Yeah. How long did it take for you to know that she was the one?
I think it was like I think it was close to a few months. Yeah, it's like.
Wait a minute, it was a few months?
Yeah, it's like. At first I dated her for just to give me a chance so I can actually get to know her better. Yeah. Yeah, I think after the second month I was like, no man, I'm done. This is it.
Really?
I'm not going far. I know. I understand her. She's telling me a story. And this is what I want. We're going to help each other throughout.
I love it because I always tell women it doesn't take men long.
No, it doesn't.
When they know you're the one.
It doesn't. I knew already from like the first day, second day. I was like, this one.
So what about men who like drag a woman on endlessly for years and still hasn't talked about marriage? It's been past 2 or 3 years.
Everyone is different, but there must be a communication. The generation now and society and everything that's happening. Some people are too scared to go in full out.
Right.
They just wanna okay, let's just tap on the waters and see how it goes. Let's give it a year. Second year, okay, she's still alright. She hasn't cheated. She's still fine.
I'm fine now. I don't have to commit, and I'm still getting the benefit.
And what I've noticed that the bad thing about that, you get comfortable now. So when you get too comfortable, you stop doing the extra. You don't bring the flowers anymore because she's at home. She's gonna be there. I'm gonna find her. She's gonna make food. She knows I'm the one. But that effort that was there is not any there. It's no more there, and the love slowly starts to die. The lie that was there starts to dim, and it's and she start acting differently, and you thinking like, what did I do wrong? You're not putting an extra effort.
Of course not.
So because now you've been with her for like 2 years,
right,
or 3, and you still think she's going to be there. Yeah. No, if someone else comes and lights up the sparkle again, she's gone, man. So you need to keep. With women, you need to keep
upping your game
every day.
Okay. So now talk to us about the process of marriage. Can you explain to us in South Africa, now that you're engaged, what do you have to do to actually be able to get married?
So now that I'm engaged, I did speak to my mom. My fiance, she has a mom. My dad passed over a long time. It's a mom and 3 siblings. Yeah. So now.
So you asked the mother for permission?
Yes, I did. I did tell her that I was planning on proposing, and she's like, "Yeah, go for it." I'm excited. She was really excited about it. I was like, go for it. I know she's definitely, it's going to be a yes, I had to show the mom the ring that I've chosen, a few rings that she's like, yeah, this is the one.
Oh, wait, you let the mother choose the ring?
No, I showed her what I was, planning on getting. I showed her two options, and she chose one that I was also liking.
Okay.
So I was like, well, it's a go ahead. Okay. So the way it works is that since I proposed to her and she said yes, we now have to give cows to her family. Okay. It's called Lobola. Lobola negotiations. Okay. So the way it works is that my family will have to write a letter to her family to say that we, Ray's family, would like to come and pay Lobola for your daughters. Can we come on any of the given dates? So they'll give 2 dates on that letter. They'll indicate 2 dates. Right. When our family receives this letter, they'll respond back to say, we've received your letter and you're welcome to come on this date. So this is done between the males in the families, no females. So the males are the ones that are going to do in the negotiations on behalf of the female. Of the female and the man as well. Oh. Yes. So all around the table, it's only the men? Only the men, yes. Okay, negotiating the marriage. Yes, negotiating the marriage. And how much the Lobola is going to cost? Yeah, exactly. Which is AKA like a dowry, right? You're right. To be able to marry her. To be able to marry her, yes. Okay. So now, when my family goes there, they must go there with an envelope. The envelope must have about 5,000 rand and 2 bottles of whiskey. 2 bottles of whiskey and 5,000 rands. It's called the mouth opener. Just to be able to have the conversation about getting married and negotiating the Lobola. Okay. So when my family goes there, and they start talking to her family because they'll be welcomed inside. Right. When they start talking to her family, without putting down the envelope on the table and the 2 bottles of whiskey, all of a sudden her family will be mute. They'll be quiet. So you mean to tell me that if that envelope with the 5,000 rand and the 2 bottle of whiskey isn't placed on the table first? Yes. No, there's nothing to talk about until you place. Until we put down the envelope on the table. Because that shows you're serious. Yes, until you put down the envelope on the table, the 2 bottles of whiskey, that's when they open their mouth and say, so they just sit there and stare at you. Welcome. Wait a minute. Can you imagine? They will sit there and just... Yeah. You'll be talking, they'll be like, yeah. Really? Yeah. But then now when you put it down, then now they're like, oh, welcome. Welcome. Welcome to the family. Oh, okay. We see that your son has chosen our daughter. So this is how much our daughter is going to cost you. So they'll now tell you things like our daughter went to university, she has a degree, the price goes up. She has no child, the price goes up. She's still a virgin, the price goes way up. Apparently there's ways to check these things. Is there ways to check? There are ways to check these things, apparently. You should check it out. There is. Do men really verify that? I mean, if you claim or if you say that my daughter is a virgin, then they're gonna say, well, we have to, some sort of certification. Like a doctor. Yeah. Really? Yes. Oh my God. We just can't take your word for it. We don't know. Right. Now you're charging me an extra 2 cows because she's a virgin and she's not? Okay. So then they'll say, for our daughter, we want 20 cows. Okay. So the negotiating is starting at 20 cows. Okay. Or my family will now negotiate on my behalf. And they'll say, well, thank you for the offer that you want for your daughter. So, then they'll start negotiating on my behalf, saying things like, Ray's a very hardworking man. He has a degree from college, pays black tax. He's a family man. So we are prepared to give 10 cows. Yes. If 10 cows is not enough for a family, they can still renegotiate back and say, well, 10 cows is not enough for our daughter. Yeah. We've spent so much money for her to go to university. She's the breadwinner in the family. You know what? We'll go easy on you guys. Give us 15 cows. Okay. 15. If that's so much for my family. Now, wait, we have to explain this. How much is each cow worth? So a cow, depending on the type of cow, can be from $400 to $500. Okay. Some can be even 600, 700. It all depends. But we'll just go with the average, let's say $500 per cow. Yeah. And then, so if 15 is a lot for my family, 15 cows, they can also renegotiate and say, well, 15 is a lot for us. But since we're about to join families together, who will give 12 cows? Okay. If our family agrees to the 12 cows and they shake on it, they agree, we are married. Under the law of this country, we are married. At that moment, are you married? Yes. So we'll have a celebration. The moment we have a celebration together there, we have photos, we are married. Are you prepared to have the celebration right then and there if the agreement is struck? Yep. Oh. We can have it right there. Okay. Yes. So now, so you bring your clothes and everything else for the celebration? Yes, it can be done even the next day. Okay. Yeah. So once they agree on the 12 cows. Yes. We are married traditionally in South Africa. So things like going to the Home Affairs to get the marriage certificate, those formalities can be done later. Okay. But you look at today, we are living in the cities. So, how do I transport 12 cows? Right. We give money value to the 12 cows.
So instead of bringing a bunch of cows, you bring the money that it would cost in order to buy those cows. So then if you're giving 12 cows, then what is that? Like $6,500.
Something like that.
Okay, so then you're gonna pay $6,500 to the family. Don't even forget the fact that in order to even have the conversation, that you put down 5,000 rands and 2 bottles of whiskeys. The whiskey is not cheap. And right, and then it's just the thing that I really love about this is just the respect around the idea of you're going to have to demonstrate your seriousness and commitment to my daughter.
Yeah, it's it's the culture as well. We respect culture and traditions in this country. So, and it also symbolizes to say thank you to the family for raising their daughter so well. Well mannered. She can cook. She's also educated. That's very good.
Right.
Very good qualities for women.
I'm glad you said that, because I think when women are hearing this, they're thinking that you're treating women like a object, you're negotiating on a piece of property.
It's not, and I think that's something that the new generation feels like it. They feel like it's a business transaction, which is not really. It's just to give thanks to the family for raising their daughter so well.
Right.
So if you're going to talk about marriage, you need to be ready and you need to be serious about it. You are taking their daughter from their family. They used to look after her. Now she's now in your care. So they will tell you all this kind of thing. Like, our daughter is a breadwinner. She supports us. She was raised well. We did a lot for her.
Right.
And
if you can't pay for cows, how in the heck are you going to take care of our daughter the way that we raised her? Like, we put all this money, all this effort into making sure she got educated, that she was a good girl, that she was well-rounded. And then here you're going to come with your broke self who can't even provide a house or anything for my child. And I'm supposed to take you serious. No, this is a physical demonstration that you're invested and that you have the ability to provide.
That's correct. For some families, they can be very traditional.
Right.
They might tell you, what, our daughter, she's from a royal family. She has a master's degree, a PhD.
Right.
The price goes up.
Right.
And for some families, they might not be too traditional. Modern families, they are taking it easy. They understand the financial struggles nowadays. They might say, just give us 3 cows.
Right.
What maybe you might just bring an offer and say, what, before even the negotiations start, before they even start telling you how much they want for their daughter, you might give an offer at first. Right. For some families, they might look at your offer and they say, this is okay, it's fine. So for some families, they might not be too traditional and tell you, just give us what you want. Right. We'll take it.
Right.
But it's a bit rare.
But what if somebody says, I just have 2 cows and that's it?
What, the guy or the family?
The guy.
It just the 2 cows? If the negotiations they are not successful, the wedding will not take place, because you need blessings from both of the families. The couple cannot just decide to get married just because the negotiations was not successful.
Right.
You need blessings from both of the families, because family is a very important quality in our lives in Africa. So family is very, very important. You have to renegotiate again, write another letter. On her side, it's going to be the uncles that are going to represent her.
Right.
And these uncles can be brutal sometimes, because it's like they want a cut in this negotiation.
Right.
They'll tell you certain things, like our daughter, she was raised well, master's degree, PhD, 20 cows. On my side, it's going to be my uncles, And as I've told them, guys, this is my budget. Anything beyond this budget, please, it's not happening.
Right, because you don't want them to over negotiate and be like, oh, exactly. He'll give you 30 cows, and you're like, wait.
I've told them this is my budget, but if you guys want to add some extra cows, it's fine. But this is my budget because I'm paying it myself. Usually it's the family of the son that will help to pay for this Lobola.
So the family will come together to help pay.
To pay for the son. That's how it's supposed to. Usually it's the parents, but if the parents are not there anymore, then you as a man have to pay it yourself. But you must have men in your family or your mother's family to represent you.
Right.
It's very, very important. And they'll go there on your behalf and they'll tell you how it's going. So that then after when we have the traditional wedding, her family will give us half of that money back to the couple as a gift from them, like go ahead and start off your new life, or maybe use this money as a deposit or something in your house or something. But sometimes some families might not give that money back.
They're like, listen, her PhD was very expensive.
Exactly. So they'll use some of the money for catering for the traditional wedding. Then after the traditional wedding, we'll now have a white wedding. Depends with the couple. So a white wedding is more European. It's where the bride will be wearing a white dress, and then they might do it in a church, depending with their religious background. If they're Christians, then yeah, that would be marriage in South Africa if you're marrying into a black family.
Right.
So,
and when you get married, then as the husband, what are the type of responsibilities that you take on?
So yeah, you take on her as a provider, as a whole. You know, you provide for the whole family, you provide for the house, for her as well. You know, and I mean this.
No matter what she makes.
No matter what she makes. You know, so remember you've spoken about this. You know, like let's say maybe you are making 3 times what I'm making. You know, so this is where now the two people talk.
Right.
For instance, you're making $30,000, I'm making $6,000.
Yeah.
And our home maybe it's $3,000.
Right,
so
right.
I'll be like, I'll still wanna pay for the house.
Yeah.
I wanna take that responsibility as a man.
Yeah.
You know, let me do what I am, what I'm supposed to be doing. That's my responsibility.
Right.
So when a man takes that initiative, that responsibility, even for the woman who see that, yeah, my man is actually trying. He's doing it with whatever small that he has. He's doing it. Right. So she wouldn't even have a problem to even help.
Right.
But if you want to try to hold on, you know, to what you have, like, oh, come on.
Yeah. That wouldn't be considered a good woman.
It would be
partner.
Yeah.
That is really profound. Like this has been so eye-opening, and I hope that women, especially women who are watching this, they can see the way it's done. Because around the world, there's different traditions. But what I found is around the world, the men have this mindset that they are the providers. They are the ones that's willing to show the woman that he can provide for her. And he's willing to do the work in order to court her, to show her that she can trust him, give her heart to him, and say yes to him. In America, the men just think that they're the prize. They call themselves the prize.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's not like that.
It's a very beautiful thing. Okay, they paint their nails, they want pretty hair, and they want to be called the prize. And so I think that women have lowered their standards so much because they don't understand that there's a different way of thinking. And there also are men in America who are good men, who feel like they are providers. You know, I'm fortunate to be married to one. And so it's been such a pleasure to be able to interview you and get it from your mouth how a real man thinks. So thank you so much for joining us.
It's a pleasure, Shay.
Today.
I really enjoyed the interview as well.
Thank you. And that's been another episode of Love on Command, ladies. I will see you next Tuesday. Bye.